something before I get started here. I don't believe in being a controlling individual. At one time, when I was falsely accused of domestic violence many years ago, I was forced to attend these classes, which are not unlike those alcohol re-education classes you get when you get a DUI, or it's not unlike going to traffic school. Had to get up at some ungodly hour of the morning and show up at like an industrial park in Van Nuys, where they rented some office space, and you go in and you have some super diesel dyke who is telling you how bad men are, how wrong we were for committing these violent acts, and that if we did not admit our crime, if we did not concede, yes, we did it, we would never get out of the class. And it obviously didn't occur to her that there were people who had simply reached a settlement to go to these classes who may not have actually done the deed. I was one of them. I had to lie to get out of the class. I had to say I did it, but in reality, I didn't. But that's beside the point. Believe me or not, that's 14 years ago, and I haven't been in trouble with the law since, so think about it. If I were that kind of troublemaker, I would be probably doing it again and again, wouldn't you think? Nonetheless, in these classes, they accused all of the men in there of being controlling. Manipulative, controlling, and they talked about the things that men try to do to control women. And I realized at that moment that that's not what I want to do, never did. What I want to control is me. I want to have control over my own life. And so in order to have control over my own life, what I have to do is I have to say the following. I have to do it like this. I have to say, look, I can't change you. And that has been my policy. If I'm not happy with you, if I don't like the way you are, if I don't like what you do, if I don't like your values, if I don't like your morality, if I don't like habits you have, I shouldn't be trying to change you. I should be changing my address or changing your address. And that is how I handle these things these days. Recently, I talked about my most recent ex-girlfriend on the air. There are things about her that I think will never change. I didn't try to change her. I got her to file a change of address form with the United States Postal Service. That's the only changing that went on. Wherever she is, she probably still spends too much money, probably is still irresponsible, is probably nagging and harassing some other guy she's dating. Fine. That's somebody else's problem now. I always wonder if whoever she's dating listens to the show, has ever heard it. One day he'll realize what I'm saying is true. But in the meantime, he's now somebody else's problem. She's now somebody else's problem. She's not my problem anymore. There are just certain things I refuse to tolerate. Refuse to tolerate. And rather than trying to get a woman to change, or rather than trying to put a gun to a woman's head, or rather than locking around, some of the things guys apparently do, ridiculous, lock them out, take away their purse, take away their wallet, rip the phone cord from the wall, all these things that men supposedly do. I have no interest in doing that. I have no interest in changing anyone because I know that nobody can change me. My interest is in changing me. I don't have to live with certain things. I just don't have to. So there are certain things that I say, if they pop up, or if you find out about them, or if after you get over the initial excitement of meeting somebody who floats your boat, that these are things that you find distasteful or make you angry or make you feel insecure, There are certain things you just have to draw the line in the sand and say, these are the things I'm not tolerating, so I'm out. Remember, I said this on the air recently. I'm going to say it again. It sounds cynical, and it strips romance of all of the nuance and all of the mystery. The person who cares the least has the upper hand in a relationship. The trick is to find somebody who cares about you more than you care about them. Because then you have them right where you want them. Think about it. You need them to need you more than you need them. So you need to pick somebody who is, I don't want to say needy. They just need you more than you need them. They care about you more than you care about them. You need to be with somebody who, when they leave the house, you don't care where they're going. You don't care if they're going out with their friends or going out at night with the girls or, who knows, meeting up with the next boyfriend. You just don't care. Relieves all the stress in the relationship, all the anger. Reduces your insecurity and increases your self-esteem, feelings of self-worth. And I say now, stop trying to tell the other person what to do or not to do, and start just saying, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm out of here. For example, stop trying to tell women that they can't go out at night with the girls, like girls' night out, going to dance clubs. My attitude about it is, if a woman goes out to dance clubs at night, it means that she has not gotten that out of her system. And when I say that, it's not dancing I'm talking about. It's tarting yourself up and going out and getting your ass grabbed by a bunch of strange men. Let's face it, that's what going out and dancing is all about. If all women needed to do was dance, they could crank up the boom box, turn on their CD players, and the girls could get together in her living room and they could dance the night away. They could dance and dance and dance and dance. It has nothing to do with dancing. I tried that on a woman once who said, oh, she just wants to go out and dance. I said, why don't you have the girls over here? I don't mind. Play the music as loudly as you like. And the six of you can come over to the apartment and you can all dance. Well, that clearly wasn't enough. Because if she wasn't tarted up and out of the nightclub somewhere where she had to bribe the bouncer somehow or slide her way in, then go in there and, then that lie that women all dance together, that they don't dance with guys, that's a lie too. They may dance together for a few minutes until guys cut in and get what they're trying to get, which at least is to cop a feel, if not more than that. It's like, guess what? I refuse to tolerate that. Any woman who wants to go out to clubs, that's fine. But you're not my girlfriend. I might have sex with you, because I really don't care what you do. When I'm off having sex with somebody else, I couldn't care less. But my attitude about it is, if you insist on going out with the girls to nightclubs, if you insist on tarting yourself up and going out at night, I'm not going to live with you. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to give you the password to any of my accounts or my ATM card or anything. You know, you're a booty call. You're a whore. And I don't mind being with whores and sluts. That's fine as long as we understand what you are. You're a whore. You're a slut. And that's why you need to keep going out to clubs at night. And I don't say this as a pejorative term. I love, when I'm unmarried, meeting sluts. I mean, if that's what you call a woman who goes around and has sex with strangers or goes around having sex with lots of guys, as an unmarried person, I love meeting women like that. That's not a put down at all. You're exactly the kind of woman I'm looking for. But if I'm married to you, or if I'm living with you, or if you're my girlfriend and you're going out to clubs at night, I'm drawing the line right there. You're out. You are out. You are a sex object to me, and that's all you ever will be. Same thing if you have a MySpace page or a Facebook page or anything like that. Sorry, girls. I'm out. You're not using my computer to log on. You're not using my email account to log on. You're not going to be sitting there with 96 friends and 92 of them are guys who thought your picture looked hot. I'm not going to live with that. I'll have sex with you. I'll talk to you. But you will not live with me. I will not marry you. I will not call you my girlfriend. You're somebody I date occasionally. That's what you are. You're one of my 96 friends. You know what I'm talking about? If you have a page on MySpace or Facebook, you're one of my 96 friends. Got it? It's something that's just, for me, there's no negotiating. There's no compromise on this. You're in or you're out. The purpose of having MySpace pages and Facebook pages is to hook up. That's the purpose of it. People love to say, oh, no, it's because I like bands. I like hearing about new bands. Oh, my friends need to find me. Like your friends need to find you. Like your friends couldn't find you before. How about a telephone? That's one good way to find you. Or an email. Or how about knocking on your door? If these are really your friends, why in the world do you need a MySpace page? And can I tell you something? I've got friends I've known for 20, 25 years. I do not have a MySpace page. And amazingly, everybody manages to stay in touch with me. Everybody can find me. By the way, let me add classmates.com to that list. Ladies, if you have a classmates.com page, your chances of being my girlfriend are zero. Because, again, the people you went to school with, if they were really your friends, you'd have stayed in touch with them. You wouldn't need to get on classmates.com. Let's tell the truth. The main purpose for most people of getting onto classmates.com is to finish up any unfinished business that existed in high school. That's the purpose of it. That is why you become a member. That's why you pay for that. Everybody I know from when I went to high school that I still want to talk to, which is about 3 people, they know my phone number, they know my email address, and they know my physical address. They can contact me if they want to. I have a good friend, Glenn DeSoto, who has been in the military most of his career, and he's moved from city to city to city. I know where Glenn lives. Glenn can write to me. Glenn can call me. He knows where I am. And I'm more than happy to chat with him anytime. My friend Henry Strite. In fact, I saw Henry a few times in recent years, and we saw each other in New York. We saw each other here in L.A. I didn't need classmates.com to find him, and he didn't need it to find me. If your girl was on classmates.com, it's to hook up with guys she went to high school with. That's what it's all about. So, again, for me, these are absolute deal killers. If you have a page on MySpace, Facebook, or classmates.com, you're not going to be my girlfriend. I might have sex with you, I might talk to you, but I absolutely, positively wouldn't marry you or let you move into my place. That would be it. That would be it. Other issues, if all your friends are guys, I'll have sex with you, but I'm not going to be with anybody who has nothing but guy friends. If all your friends are gays, same thing. Something wrong there. Some problem. Got no problem with you having a gay friend or two. I have a gay friend or two, but you know what? If all your friends are gay, there's a reason. And that reason is probably going to get in the way of us having a relationship. So you see, there are just certain deal killers. There are certain things about women that if these conditions exist, I could never... by the way, right now I'm very down on relationships and marriage and living together. So this stuff is really a moot point for me. But if I were prone to having a relationship at this point in time, these are absolute deal killers. Do you agree or disagree? Do you have your own?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Eric, hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing? First-time caller, long-time listener.
Excellent.
Hey, yeah, I agree with about 99.999 things of what you say, but I'm going to have to disagree on these social networking sites and, instant messenger and that type of thing. Here's why. I think it's more of a generation thing. I'm 30. I know you're probably, about 50?
Yeah, by the way, don't think I don't use instant messaging and chat online. I do.
Well, I'm talking more as far as keeping track of people and communicating, with your friends. For me, all of my friends are on MySpace, and basically we use that as a way.
That's because most of you are unmarried and you've used it at least once to hook up.
Well, I used it originally I moved out here to Phoenix from L.A., and it's a good way for me to kind of update my life to my friends, people that I want to keep updated with.
What is it you're updating?
Well, what I'm doing currently, post pictures of trips that I've taken, if I've changed jobs, just talking about general things. I've got a lot of friends back in L.A. that I don't speak to on the phone all the time. And it's sort of a good way just to kind of, keep tabs on people.
So you've never hooked up on MySpace?
No, honestly, I haven't.
Really?
Yep, never. And it's not because I haven't, I've always just kind of been involved with the relationship, or I've been dating other girls. I never really needed it.
Great. All right, so why don't the two of you have a page together?
Well, I think that's kind of corny, I think.
What's corny about it? You don't have to make it corny. You don't have to make it syrupy. Just put the pictures from both of you on there.
Well, but the thing is
share an email address.
People. She has her own friends. I have my own friends.
Well, she has her own friends because she's hooked up on MySpace too.
Well, she hasn't. I know that for a fact.
No, you don't know that.
Well, I do know that, Tom.
No, you don't.
Well, okay. I'm 99.9%.
No, everybody who's engaged says that, and the fact is, you don't know as much as you think you know.
Well, that may be true, but I think that your point is
unless you've had a webcam in her bedroom for the last 10 years, you do not know what she's been doing. You don't.
Well, this is true. But, again, for people our age and our friends, a phone and an address is not as permanent of a thing as a MySpace page.
Well, you could also have an email address. And, by the way, if you really weren't trying to hide ex-girlfriends or she wasn't trying to hide ex-boyfriends, you would merge your pages into one page.
Well, we live together, and, I have her password. She has my password. There's nothing going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not denying that a lot of people probably do use it to hook up behind other people's backs, but...
So you're telling me you have no ex-girlfriends are your friends on MySpace?
Yeah, I gotta say... well, okay, not girlfriends. Girls I've hooked up with, sure.
Girls you've hooked up with, that's great. And of course, you ever look at your girls or your fiancés, friends? These are guys she's had sex with. You like that?
You know what? For the most part, I don't care because she's with me now, and what she did in her past is.
I'm not talking about what she did in her past.
My past.
The reason these people are on there as her friends is because they've contacted her in the recent past.
Well, these people also were having sex with her when I knew her and when I knew them. We've all been kind of mutual friends for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, her and I have not been engaged that entire time. We started out in the same pool of friends.
Right.
So naturally we have a lot of the same friends, and, we know people, and we've been involved with various people in that group. But certainly there's nobody on her MySpace that she's friends with that I don't know, or, just random guys that think that she's hot.
Well, nice trying the generational thing there, but I'm telling you, Eric, you're going to find out the hard way, and so are a lot of other people, if they tolerate that.
Well, I think the generation thing has to do with more using it as a communication tool as opposed to just a hookup tool.
But it's not a communication tool any more than having email as a communication tool.
Well, that's true, but there's a lot of things that you cannot necessarily translate in an effective manner through email. For instance, photo albums and comments. Sure, there's a million places that you can post photos, but that's sort of a one centralized location for you and your life and what's going on in your life at that time.
By the way, I might say, and I haven't seen your life, and you might be the most fascinating individual on planet Earth, but most people's pictures of their trips and their children and their girlfriends are downright boring to the rest of us.
Well, they're boring to people that you don't know, or they're boring to people. Like if I was just.
I'm talking about people I know. I've gone to their MySpace page, and I'm saying, this is more than I ever needed to know.
Well, certainly sometimes the information can go overboard, but certainly you can't say that all of the information is more than you needed to know.
Sure,
I mean,
it is.
Friends with the person.
Why do your friends need to know what your horoscope sign is?
Well, I don't put that kind of information on there, but for instance, you know, if I took a trip to Colorado and I wanted to put the pictures of my trip to Colorado...
What makes you think anybody could care less?
What's that?
What makes you think other people could care less?
Well, I think they do care because I care. So when I look at my friends' profiles, I like to see what they're doing. I like to scan their pictures and see what they've been up to.
I am about to take... Let me tell you something. I'll give you an example. I'm about to take a trip to Rome and Tuscany. I'm about to take this trip, and I will take pictures. But there is no way I would post them on for example, I have the show website. You do not need to see a picture of me standing in front of the Colosseum in Rome. There have been 8 billion pictures taken in front of the Colosseum.
Well, I don't need to see that because I don't care what you do in Rome. But let's say I went to Rome. My sister, who lives 500 miles away, who I don't see all the time, certainly would like to look at those pictures.
You could certainly email them to her without having to have the entire world looking at them.
Well, I don't have the entire world looking at my profile, and neither does my fiance. There's a lot of privacy settings that you can set so that only the people that you accept as your friend can then see your profile and your pictures.
Well, I mean, there's certain people you don't want to see your trip to Colorado?
Well, yeah, the rest of the world. In other words,
what would be the problem? Who would even look? This is the most amazing thing. This is what the ego of people like you. Why do you think anybody would even want to see that? You would have to set a privacy setting so complete strangers couldn't see you standing in front of the Rocky Mountains? Ooh.
Well, yeah, again, the privacy setting isn't for the specific photo album. The privacy setting is a general setting to hide your information so that only your friends can see. And again, the reason I think they would want to see it is because exactly what I said before, because I'm curious and I like to see what my friends are doing who are 400 or 500 miles away that I used to see on a daily basis, and now I see maybe twice a year if I'm lucky.
And you need to tell all your friends who your favorite band is and things like that?
Well, again, Tom, I don't have that information on there, and
What information? I'm curious. What information do you have on there?
Well, again, I post pictures, and that's about it. I have some political rants and stuff on there, but for me personally, that's really all I have. I don't blog, I don't tell the whole world my information, but... Again, it's more, pictures and kind of keeping tabs and keeping track of people. It's more of a permanent space that you always know that you can go there and see what's going on with your buddy.
By the way, I'm not getting married and I'm not in a relationship, so it's not even pertinent to me at this point. But if I were, a MySpace page would be a deal breaker. Be a deal breaker. I do not want her ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands having a convenient place to reach her anytime they want to. It's that simple.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Are you beautiful or not?
Yes, I'm beautiful.
Really? Are you a 9 or a 10?
A 9 or a 10?
Yeah.
Size?
No. On a scale of 1 to 10, you idiot.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about these deal breakers in relationships. If she's on MySpace, Facebook, Classmates.com, if all her friends are guys, all her friends are gays, I'm out. Those are the 5 simple deal breakers in my life. What do you think? By the way, here's an email from a listener named Jerry. Jerry writes in and says, thanks for the inspiration. I waited until I was 30 to get married. I thought I was getting a great deal. She is hot, enjoys most of the interests that I have. She even loves football. We go dancing, to live shows, and amusement parks. She loves hanging out with the guys. But I took her and her kids and bought a house with them. This is the first time the kids have had their own rooms. I had to take a second job to pay for all their needs. We ended up getting cell phones, one which the mother and the kids got at it. Now we have a $350 monthly cell phone bill. We have all the cable channels with digital video recording capability. We also have full internet access with 2 computers. I bet you'll never guess who pays for it all. But this does not bother me. If I could come home to a clean house, the house I live in is a pigsty. I can't find a dish in the house. Family does not want to come over, and I could not bring over people from work. Let me tell you what does get done around the house. My wife has 3 MySpace pages fully updated all the time. She claims that it is contact info to help her find work for her new business interest. Go-go dancing. Do they even have go-go dancing anymore? He says, now don't get her wrong. She does have a job, career actually. She works 6 hours a day as a teacher's aide for emotionally disturbed kids. At the end of the day, she is spent and too tired to do anything. I do like your idea that I will not be able to change her, but I can change me and my address. You have inspired me to go home and have a discussion with my family and see what I get for a reaction. And we will see what happens. Hey, Jerry, I got this for you, okay? Their reaction is going to be, we disapprove. Because you're paying for everything, pal. What do we care what their reaction is? Well, why do we care? This is how you get into trouble, worrying about what they care. Who cares what they think? Who cares? These are not your children. These are not your problems. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Ray on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how's it going, Tom?
Doing great.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I totally agree 100% about what you said about MySpace and girls on there. I mean, if I would have known about you 2 years ago, I would have made the mistake that I did by having a girlfriend. My buddies told me about this 3 years ago about MySpace, and they're there to hook up. They're there to look for girls. It's like a meat market. You know, you click on this girl here, it tells you everything about her, where she lives, what she does, pictures of her, and that's what they're there for, to hook up. And I find out that my ex, had this MySpace thing there. I found out about it. She told me, and she told me that she only had pictures of her friends and cousins. So
right.
I go in there and I look at her page, and she's got all kinds of pictures of her all over the space there, and yeah, she had pictures of her cousins that I met, but as far as in the male cousins I never met, and according to her, they were her cousins. And then she had other pictures of other guy friends that supposedly she knew from a long time ago.
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so I told her, I was like, you know what? This is to hook up. This people are here to hook up. She's like, no, it's just to like the other guy said, just to keep in touch with other people. No way.
Why do you want to keep in touch with people who want to have sex with you?
Exactly. And I was a little jealous person when I was in my relationship with her and all that, and so I told her, I was like, you know what, get rid of it, because guys are here just to look at you, and people are here to hook up. And she's like, no, I'm not here to hook up. And I was like, well, take it off anyway. She took it off, supposedly, right? So a year went by, a year and a half, and I actually got curious once. I went in there to see if she was still on there. And I did a couple of times. I punched in, because you can look at by her email address, punch that in, and it'll give you her page. Well, I did that a couple of times, but then I find out that, like that other gentleman said, you can like hide your page or something like that, you know, when only people that are on there that are her friends can only see her page. Well, that's what she did. She hid it. So when I go in there and punch in her email address, I won't be able to find it. Well, one day, I guess, we got in an argument, and you know, I stopped calling her, you know, whatever. And to piss me off more, I guess she revealed her page back on there again, and she knew that I was going to go in there to see if she was on there. Well, I find her that she was on there, and that she had never took that stupid page away. She was always active on that. And then I click on her friends, because you can see there's a column where it says click to view all friends. I kid you not, she had over 75 male friends on there, okay? And a few of them were, you know, her cousins, relatives, whatever. But most of these guys were just like there to hook up. I was pissed. I called her. I told her, give me the password to get in there to look up her messages, because you can also see the communication that they go back and forth. You can see the emails they write back and forth. Well, I go in there. I look at her back and forth emails that she was communicating with these guys. Not only that, but she says that on her status, it said single, okay, instead of saying relationship. And then she was communicating with these guys. You know, she gave her cousin's cell phone number, so when he would call her, he would, you know, I wouldn't see her bill with this guy's number. So that's the way she kept communicating with these guys, you know, giving her cousin's cell phone number, who lived in the back house. And I mean, when I found out that she was communicating and saying, you know, hey, you know, we're gonna be at this club tonight, you know, why don't you come and join us? I was like, no, that's it.
But you see, if you had a rule like I do, you'd have never had to humiliate yourself like that by able to find that stuff.
Exactly, and I was so pissed, you know, and of course, you know, I was heartbroken, whatever, going through that stupid stage, and I don't know, after that, I just didn't trust her. I was like, to me, it was like whatever, the relationship was like whatever after that, you know, and she would say, oh, I'm going to Mexico, you know, and whatever. So I was like, go ahead, do what you want to do. I know that you're messing around with other people. So my caring and all that for her just stopped right there and then, because I don't want to deal with that. No way. So
now if you meet a chick who's on MySpace, what are you going to do?
You know what? I don't even go in that stupid page. I hate that page.
No, but if you meet a chick, let's say you don't meet her on MySpace. You meet her at a bus stop, okay? Then later on you find out she's on MySpace. What are you going to do?
Well, first of all, I'm going to just try not... I get close to them real quick. That's my problem. And I hate that.
That is a problem.
What's that?
That is a problem, because the person with the upper hand is the one who cares the least.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, I'm just going to try to go out there and have fun, like you say, man. You know, it's like bang them, then once or twice and move on.
Hang on a second, Ray. Leslie, what did you want to say here?
I disagree. I think in this gentleman's case, it's just MySpace is whatever you want it to be, and obviously the girl was a problem. Whether she was on MySpace or not, she was probably fooling around, just like this guy said. You know, he didn't trust her from the beginning. So MySpace is whatever you want it to be. You know,
MySpace got its name.
Excuse me?
MySpace is that space between your left leg and your right leg.
If that's the kind of girl you are, and that's the kind of girl you're attracted to. And this guy, I mean, you said, you know, you have a problem finding girls, you get a fall too easily. So that's more of a personal issue, but that has nothing to do with MySpace. MySpace is whatever you want it to be. In terms, like, Tom, like you were saying with pictures, I love you, Tom, but I seriously think this is a generational thing. You asked, why would you want to post pictures of your trip? But we're a different...
On MySpace. How about you set up a website?
Uh-huh.
Yahoo has them and other...
Exactly.
And you put your pictures on there.
Right,
Yeah,
but everyone in my generation, everyone has a MySpace page. When you
Because you know why? Because everybody who's 24 years old is hooking up. That's why they're on MySpace.
Not everyone is hooking up. You know what? The sluts or the girls who are fooling around like this guy's ex-girl or whatever. But you know what?
I'm sure 90% of the girls there are hooking up. 90% of the people there are there to hook up.
But she was. And she was probably doing it before MySpace, without MySpace. That's the type of girl she is. That's the kind of girl you find. That's what's, in your past.
90% of the people there hook up.
No, 90%. That's not true. And, MySpace is whatever Tom, about this whole generational thing, my generation, we have...
Dear, stop with the my generation thing. It's irrelevant. I'm on YouTube 12 hours a day. I know all about YouTube, and I know all about MySpace. We spend our life
on there. We send clips to each other. Before I take a picture of my cell phone, and I send it to my friends before
By the way, I do the same thing.
On our iPods.
Dear, nobody owns more technology than I do. And I send pictures to people all the time, but I send them to their cell phones individually. I don't need the whole world to see every photograph I take. I don't need the whole world to see every video I make. I send them to the people who are interested.
Who are my friends? I post pictures of my vacation, and I'm not sending them to anybody. I just put them all on my page.
Really?
Whoever wants to see them from my friends.
But most people do not block their page so only friends can see it.
I have it blocked so only my friends could see it.
Most people don't, and that's because they want to hook up.
No, you know what, and this makes sense. If you run into sluts and that's what you're used to dealing with, and I don't know if, Tom, that's what you're used to dealing with or your experience or whatever, but of course you're going to find girls who...
Here, I love sluts. Anyone with a MySpace page is not going to ever live at my address. It's that simple.
Well, maybe you seek out, the trashy girls. You know what I mean?
Well, to get laid, of course.
Well, you're probably seeking out hot sluts, and, that's fine. But, I put on my page whatever I put, and I think clearly it's a generation.
All right, you've said it 14 times, dear. And again, I use the web like anybody. I have a digital camera. I have a Trio. I send videos. I send snapshots. But everybody doesn't need to see everything I'm doing. I take pictures and I send them to the people who need or want to see them. I take videos and I send them to the people who need or want to see them. But there's nothing to do with the generational thing that you have the ego to think that everybody on the planet is interested in every single stupid thing you do and needs to see photographs of every stupid experience you have. That's an ego thing there. Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, you rule. It's about time a wise man calls it like it is. I call it horse-based because, honestly, that's all it is, and that's rule number 2 on my dating list is you cannot have a MySpace page.
Yeah, because we know what it's there for.
My roommate, she's all over MySpace, and she's brought some creepy guys home, and I'm like, dude, quit bringing these creeps home because...
Everybody on the planet is interested in every single stupid thing you do and needs to see photographs of every stupid experience you have. That's an ego thing there. Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, you rule. It's about time a wise man calls it like it is. I call it horse-based because, honestly, that's all it is, and that's rule number 2 on my dating list is you cannot have a MySpace page.
Yeah, because we know what it's there for.
My roommate, she's all over MySpace, and she's brought some creepy guys home, and I'm like, dude, quit bringing these creeps home because no telling what they'll do, and honestly, that's all it is. I'm 30, I'm single, and one of my longtime best friends is constantly trying to convince me, Karina, just do it. Get on MySpace. You're going to meet somebody. Try it.
Oh, God, I get so tired of hearing people say that.
The Tom Leykis Show.